And a good thing that goes into discipline is not procrastinating, which is the worst thing that I have.
I have a tip for plagiarism. So say you have... I'm serious because it really...
Plagiarism?
Talking about
Procrastination.
procrastination.
I was going to say you finna help me pass a test. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of College Survival Guide podcast. I am your host, Macy, Vessell.
I'm Floyd Harris.
And today, this is more of a freestyle kind of episode. We're going to talk about a couple things, but the first thing we want to talk about is advisors. So the reason I want to talk about advisors is because a lot of people do not get the proper advisement when they choose schedules or classes. So Floyd, did you want to open that topic up?
Yeah, coming into college, they make that like a big thing. They say, make sure you do your curriculum and make sure you talk to your advisor. So it's really important for you to make sure you're taking the right classes, because there is a such thing as taking a class and you don't need it at all and it doesn't matter, and because you already took it. So everyone's mad. And but luckily I haven't had to have that problem or circumstance, but I have heard some stories where some students have taken classes that they didn't need at all. But have you had any experiences with that?
So here's my personal story. I never took a class that I didn't need, but I did make a mistake and not take a class I need. So your girl will be here for an extra semester because of not getting proper advisement. So take me as an example on what not to do. So basically, since freshman year, I always did my own, schedule, because I always felt like it was like, common sense when you get past certain stuff. So since freshman year, after I got advisement for my sophomore year, I just never got advisement again. And ever since then, I did it on my own. So if I knew that one little thing that I knew like held me back, of course I would have changed it or something. But I didn't know because I didn't ask, because I thought I knew everything. And, it's always okay that even if you think you're completely right, sometimes you can be wrong about minor things.
I know it's important to know what classes you're taking, because I know some students change their majors. So I know it's like transferring credits or something like that.
Yeah.
I've never changed my major, and luckily I have not. I know that's like a frustrating thing, but yeah, just know what classes you're taking, just so in the long run it's easier on yourself.
And since we're talking about majors, it's always important to do your research on what major does, because I knew I wanted to do mass communications right before I started school, because 2 weeks before I was in marketing, but then I did my research and realized I don't really like math and I would have been failing anyways. So I was just like, let me change it to mass comm, because my sister was in it, even though she changed it. But other than that, I kind of knew where I wanted to go, and it's very important to talk to people in the department that you're going into, because some people go in blindsided because they're afraid to ask questions or talk to people. But it's really important to know the right information so you can be out of here in 4 years.
For example, before I attended Southern, I had no idea what I wanted to major in, but I know during the summer, my dad put me in the summer Bayou program. And it's basically where they teach you all about the ag programs they have on campus and tour the campus. And I know we did some field trips off campus, but it was an awesome experience. And I got to talk to some of the professors, some of the, people in that career area. And so that's when I knew, I was like, okay, I think I want to do animal science. And it started from there. So I was luckily to have that program to, kind of choose for me.
I wish I had $1 for every time you brought up the bio program.
The Bayou program.
Because I would be rich.
Because that's when I first came to Louisiana. I didn't know anybody.
And the core
this
memory.
Bayou program was like the first.
It reminds me of that one Kaya story y'all used to tell.
I will never forget that.
So yeah, this is more of a freestyle episode. We kind of made a college wish list on things that we wish we would have known before coming into college. So Floyd, I'm gonna let you open on this one, since this was your idea more.
Coming into college, I wish someone would have told me that you're kind of going to be doing this on your own. You're going to get help, but all of this depends on you.
Right.
So no one's gonna hold your hand. I knew no one's gonna hold my hand. I didn't need no one to hold my hand in high school. I wanted to do things on my own. But literally, the classes you take, who you talk to, meetings, that's kind of up to you.
And you're right about doing things alone. This is like the first taste of adulthood that I think I've like tasted. And that's when I realized I hated adulthood because college is like we always feel like we're doing so much at one time. And sometimes we even feel like you said earlier, we're not doing enough. So it's like our mind has a way of playing tricks on us because one day we feel like we're not doing enough. Like, I need to join more organizations. I need to talk to more people. I need to be more involved in stuff. And the other days we feel like, oh my God, I need one less organization to be in. I need one less assignment to do. I should have did this last week so I wouldn't have to do it this week. So
I remember, was it freshman year, no, it had to be sophomore year because it was after COVID. Before I got to 1890, I was really frustrated with myself. Like, I didn't know what to do. It was really frustrating. I'm not gonna lie.
why were you frustrated?
Because I felt like I was like, why am I here? Like, I don't know. And then until things started getting moving, like the scholarship, and then I just started joining organizations and I started to network, is when things started to really start moving for me.
And I think that's where a lot of depression kicks in for college students. They really question themselves, why are we here?
Yeah.
Like, some people actually find the passion of what they like to do personally and then just ready to give up on college. Sometimes it's really not for people. And I encourage them, if you don't want to finish college, do what makes you happy. Like, it's your money that you're spending as well. If you want the degree, keep it. If you don't want to do it and you find something that makes you happy. Because sometimes I used to think about, dang, I wish I wasn't in school because then maybe I could work for more for like Macy VTV. But then I'd be like, well, if I wasn't in college, I wouldn't even have
And
it.
that's us college students. We like to compare ourselves a lot to
We
other
do.
people. Like,
We do. Well, I don't do it anymore, but I definitely used to. And I think that's what put a fire under me to like make my own name, basically.
Oh, okay, I can see that.
Because basically, comparing yourself is not a pretty thing. Because why are we comparing somebody, especially with people we don't even talk to?
Yeah.
Everybody's life is different personally. So when we see,
That's just a human thing. We have to compare to do, because we want to do better all the time. But sometimes comparing isn't good because we're always online. We're always observing something.
do you think college is a race to some people? Like, is a race to finish, basically?
Oh, like
or
a
to
race,
do
like
more
running.
things?
I was like,
Yeah.
what do you mean? Black, white, what? A race?
Like, I feel like some people
I
try
don't
to
know
rush it.
why. I don't know why you would race in college. I don't see the purpose of racing. If you get it done, you get it done.
But it goes into the comparison thing. I know a lot of people like to do more and basically burn themselves out just to say they did the most in college.
Well, that's just draining.
Yeah. Because once we graduate, nobody's going to care.
You're graduating because the popular kid is graduating next semester. I don't know what to tell you. You're not here for
Whoopee.
yourself. Whoop-de-doo.
Oh my God, our favorite person is leaving, y'all. What are we going to do?
That's funny.
But yeah, how can I say this? Since this is a college survival guide, I guess we can give ways on how we survived those thoughts. So the way I survived those thoughts, and I just realized I was the best person I could be for myself. I realized the way you grow is your own personal growth, and you shouldn't compare yourselves to others on what they're dressed like, what they look like, what they're doing. Because, like I was saying earlier, everything we see from other people is, the bad stuff is behind the closed doors. So all we see is the impression that you're giving. Like, I can be the happiest person walking on stage hosting, and I can be the loneliest person behind doors. Because I was last semester. That was the best semester I had when it came to business, because that was my first semester I had popping, and I was very like, I wouldn't say depressed because I wouldn't like diagnose myself of it, but I was very like low.
The best semester for me was after we came back from COVID. That's when nobody was on campus. Do you know I had the best time?
I hated that semester because it was so awkward.
I had the best time. Nobody was on campus. So it was just like,
I hated that semester. It was so
it
awkward
was
to me.
chill. It was chill. Oh my gosh.
I think that's what the problem was. It was so chill to where I was like, we need to get some popping stuff. But it's crazy because now that I'm grown and now I'm a senior, I just like to chill. Like, I don't even go to events.
Did you ever feel pressured by your parents to go to college? Or was that like...
No, probably because my mom didn't finish.
Mm.
So I always used it as a motivation to finish. But I come from an education background. So my grandparents are educators. They were principals. They were teachers.
You have no choice.
Yeah.
You have no choice.
So, my Nana is very big on education and degrees. So I never felt pressured by them because, like, despite me, if I like college or not, I'm not going to fail. Like, I'm going to make sure my work is still done.
Right.
So they knew they never had to worry about that aspect. But I know they had to worry about, like, other personal aspects of, like, what are college students doing? Like, I had to have that talk with my grandparents and stuff. So I never really felt pressured because they know, like, I know I want that degree and I didn't come here for no reason, Even though I have my own business, the degree is still going to solidify everything that I did and the work I put behind my business. Did you ever feel pressured by your parents?
Yes, at one point, because they were just really frustrating me because at the time I was senior class president back at my high school. And in order to go to the Bayou program, I had to miss senior night. I thought I was going to miss my graduation. And then I had to miss something else. It was like a masquerade, something like that. I don't remember. But at the time, I was just so frustrated. I didn't know what to do. I knew how to get good grades. I knew I was in sports. I knew I was in organizations. But until my dad figured out Southern, and he was like, "Okay, you're gonna go to Bayou," and I was like, "Okay, but I'm gonna miss this." He was like, "I don't care, you're going," and I was like, "Okay."
You were making sacrifices early,
and I came, and it just changed everything. It really did.
Did you feel the pressure, like it weight lifted off your shoulders?
I'm already a people person, so it wasn't like a weight. It was more like, what's going to happen? I don't know what's going to happen. This is all new. What's going to happen? So, but it worked out. So it kind of makes me feel better about myself because knowing I can go somewhere and do things.
Oh, that's nice.
It's a wholesome feeling,
I realize I can do a lot of things by myself.
Somebody.
I realize that it's okay to be by yourself sometimes because some days you're not going to want to be around somebody. And I used to think that it was like me being mean, but really it was just me being honest. I'm changing. I'm growing.
Yeah.
When you're maturing, you don't want to be around certain people anymore.
We're really hard on ourselves naturally.
Yes.
Naturally. We're just super hard on ourselves. We're like, oh, I can do this better. I could have done this. And then we just beat ourselves up. And then it just digs a deeper hole when really everybody beats themselves up. Like, you're not alone.
You're not. Even the people that you think are like keeping it together are like, we all still be on our wits' end sometimes.
Because we let you see what we want you to see on social media. You don't know that I'm studying for this test tomorrow. You don't know that I'm scared for this speech that I'm having. You don't know that somebody's going through something, That stuff's crazy. Perspective is crazy. I say that all the time.
I think once I was being honest with myself, I was starting to be more honest with social media. Like the reason that we really even started this podcast is because the post I made last semester with my grades. And I realized if I'm going to be honest with myself, I'm not going to just lie to people that like look up to me or basically. And I also realized when I started being more honest with myself that I didn't even post a lot anymore. Like I never posted where I was at. Oh, I'm at Chili's. Y'all getting a 3 for $10. Like I just don't really post anymore. And you just realize day by day that some things you just move away from once you evolve.
It's called growth.
It's called growth. But something else they didn't talk about is sacrifices like you were talking about, because you were sacrificing early in high school. Like in college, it's so many sacrifices that we have to make because we're here, we have to get this stuff done, and then we also have personal needs, and then we might also be in a relationship, but then we also might have a job, and then job comes with, I might have bills, so all the money that you make the first 2 weeks gone by the fourth week, so it's like a constant repeat. And some people are really in college doing this alone, and I very much applaud everybody that is here with no help, because I know it can get stressful. Because imagine how stressful it is with people that don't have help already being a stressful student that does have help. And I think that's why it's so important to help our next classmate, because people be so ready to like not talk to people or be ready to judge, but you never know somebody until you get to know.
I was just talking about that today. I was literally talking about that today. Somebody was like walking past me and I was like, we really we're so antisocial, but we're social at the same time. That's crazy.
It's like I'll speak, but don't stand too long.
Right.
But we also wanted to talk about discipline in college. It's some things that you're going to have to put in front of other things, because that's when you realize a lot of more things are important. And I think in college, that's when you realize what's important and what's not. People are also scared of letting go of things that might not be important, but it's something that they like. But sometimes things that you like are the things that you don't need. So basically, when it comes to discipline, you have to be able to tell yourself, I got this. It's okay to be disciplined. And people are actually scared. Like, somebody could be disciplined on saving money, and their friends are going to the college party, and they feel pressured to go out because, oh, all my friends are going. Girl, if you are saving money, stay home. Why are you trying to go out and party with your friends? And if they're real friends, they will know if you're trying to save money, they wouldn't even let you go in the first place.
Right.
So some things are going to be more important. I realized, I just can't skip class when I want to, because one day you might not go to class and it'll be an exam that you missed. So, discipline. So what's your opinion on discipline in college?
Practice that early on, as early as you can.
That's good advice.
For example, in high school, I always had a planner.
You still do to this day. You got me planning,
I
y'all.
always had a wall calendar on my wall, or like a monthly calendar on my wall. When something was due, I'd make sure to write it down or get it done that same day. So coming into college, it wasn't like super hard because I was like, assignments. I already knew the assignment's going to roll in. I just got it done, boom, bada bing. So it wasn't excruciatingly to have discipline. Just practice early on. So when you do come to college, or when you do plan on going to somewhere higher in the education genre, it's not going to beat you up because you've already practiced it.
And a good thing that goes into discipline is not procrastinating, which is the worst thing that I have. I would say I'm going to do an assignment one day and probably wait until the day before it's due. And then I'm rushing. So sometimes I can admit that sometimes we put the stress on ourselves because we push things back that we should do early instead of
Now,
late.
I have a tip for plagiarism. So say you have... So I'm serious, because it really... What were we talking about?
Procrastination.
Procrastination.
I was going to say you finna help me pass a test.
Plagiarism, rule 102. No, I meant to say, sorry, y'all. Anyway, a tip. Say your assignment is due in 2 weeks, right? You don't want to wait, obviously, next week, and then you have to get it the day before. I say, if it's due in 2 weeks, tomorrow let's work on the first paragraph. The next day let's work on the second paragraph. And then maybe that night we're going to look at it and, okay, maybe we can change that. Okay, and then the next day we're going to work on it until when the assignment is due, it's already done because you were working on it bit by bit.
I tried that and I still can't do it.
No.
It's just hard for me.
Really?
Some people, it's just hard to do work, especially when it's things that we don't want to do. I hate courses that have nothing to do.
Well, that's the ones you need to do bit by bit.
I know, and it's so
The
hard.
ones that you don't want to do.
Because looking at science, I'd be like, I'd be like, I did not want to do anything on here. So since this is a freestyle episode, what other things did you want to talk about on this episode?
We already talked about classes, doing enough, what I wish people would have told me.
What about some needs?
Needs?
Needs. Like some needs that you think that you learned in college, like things that you need. I learned that I need peace around me. Like that. I learned I don't need to be around everybody or go to every party.
A good support system.
Mm-hmm.
Whether that's family, whether that's friends, whether that's an animal, whether that's something spiritual, whether that anything. Some good support system, because sometimes it's going to feel like everybody is here to hurt you.
Or against you at some points too.
Or just hatred all around. Sometimes it feels that way. That's just a human thing. That's a human thing.
We really do need to stop doing that to ourselves.
A good support system.
That's very true, because when your mind feels like you're just alone, it's going to be hard to want to do things. So it's important to surround yourself with people that are supporting you and pushing you to keep going. You don't want people that's going to pull you back or have you procrastinating more than what you are. Or, you'd be like, well, I got to do a paper. Well, you can do the paper later. Come out to this club with us. You need to surround yourself with people that also have the same goals as you and morals. Now, everybody's goals aren't the same, but when I say that, I mean, if your friend knows that you need to do a paper, you need to surround yourself with those people that's going to tell you you need to do that paper, or you need to go to class, you skipped too many times, or you need to study for this exam because you failed the last one. So it's important to have people that motivate you and right your wrongs so you can do it right the next time.
Also, start writing things down. Whether that's something you're upset about or you have an assignment due coming up, you just need to write it down to remind yourself. Um, whether that's, you know, just writing. I've been doing that since middle school, like journaling. And I feel like going back to those journals, just like, really?
It's such a corny thing.
Really? That's what we were really upset about? It's not that.
My sister used to write a lot, and I see why now.
And it's really cool to go back and reimagine. Oh wow, that's
Yeah. Like when I like find like old stuff, even my elementary stuff, I be like, oh, fourth grade me was so cute. It's just like little stuff like that and also those kind of things push me to keep going too, because my little me probably would have never thought I would be in the position that I am today. So, I'd be like, keep going, Macy. Pat on your back. Just keep going. It's also to be able to get your goals done that you always wanted to do, not only in college but in life, because as a kid we had goals and sometimes those goals still live inside of us. So it is important to push yourself and conquer those goals, not for other people but for you personally.
That's why it's important to start early. It's important to start this stuff early on, so
So you can catch on for later.
go later, you don't have to worry about it.
Now, one thing I did want to talk about, because in high school, at least my teachers would be like, when you go to college, the professors ain't gonna put up with.
Why did they say that?
I don't know, because the professors be
Maybe
sliding,
in their
like they got
time,
ice skates.
maybe because they didn't. Let me stop right there. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, they did say that. I remember. They're not.
But you was going to say something you didn't need to.
No, I was gonna say that they probably didn't go to HBCU.
Honestly, maybe that's true.
My advisor didn't know what an HBCU was. That's something to talk about.
Well, it's based off the school you went to, it's not like a big shock. My old teachers and advisors went to HBCUs. Like they did everything, like they crossed and graduated and stuff. So it was installed in us to like not go to HBCU, but basically pick out your choices, and Southern isn't your only option either. Because a lot of people did not want to come here from my high school because they felt like it was gonna be high school part 2.
Really? I can see that. I can see that. That's like me going to Fresno State. Okay.
Yeah, that was like, I am not going down the street.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's actually funny when I look back, because I honestly didn't really put any choices before Southern that I'm thinking about.
Another thing a college need, that goes with discipline. I keep seeing students not choose themselves.
Oh.
So if you have an assignment due the next day, why are you partying that night? If you know that you have to do something and you're not putting why aren't you prioritizing the right things so you don't have to worry about it later? Start that early so you don't have to worry about it later. It's just like the opportunity cost. Mm-hmm. And then I don't know, just start prioritizing your things early on. I don't know. That's one thing I keep seeing. It's like a pattern. Students just don't want to do that. Some students just don't. They just don't.
And it goes to a lot of things, actually. In college, we don't want to do a lot of things. And I think the younger the generation gets, the more they don't want to go to college, actually. Because this next class, since I'm going to be here now, since I didn't get the proper advisement, they're just like babies to me. So it's just gonna be a whole different atmosphere. And I don't know, people are finding their passion more, and also social media kind of plays a role on why people don't want to go to college either, because they see people being influencers, getting rich off TikTok and stuff like that. So some people find their passion and think, hey, I'm gonna be on TikTok and get famous. So that plays a role into it. Well, since we are almost done, did you want to start on the songs of the week?
Yes. One artist that I'm listening to quite this often is Miss Melanie Martinez and her song Pacifier.
We love Melanie Martinez, y'all. So when did you start listening to Melanie? It was high school for me.
It was high school?
So y'all, I had got into a fight. And
I didn't know it was high school for you.
I had got into a fight. And I was putting the AC. So I just had like time and opportunity to like search YouTube. And her video just popped up, I guess. It was soap. It was soap. And it was the one when she was in the bathtub. So I thought it was so unique. So that's when I grew on to her. And then after that, I put other people on and so forth.
She's such a good artist. My second song is Rude Boy by Rihanna.
Come here, rude boy, boy, can you get it up? Come here, rude boy, boy, you're big enough. Yeah. This is her second time being on our list. Like, Rihanna is a bop queen.
She's mother.
What's your favorite song by Rihanna, actually? Mine is What's My Name by her and Drake. What's my name?
Probably Diamond or Shut Up and Drive.
Oh, I like both. When I found out the message by Shut Up and Drive, I said, okay, shut up and drive.
I only know it because of Wreck-It Ralph. That's such an iconic movie. And my last song is Leave You Alone by Jeezy.
Featuring Neo, so y'all would know which song he's talking about.
That's such a nostalgic song for me.
You're like literally the only reason I even know that song for real. So mine's two of them are kind of new. So Young Blue dropped the album. So the first song is Young Blue featuring 5EO Foreign, One of Those Nights. My second song is Spin About You, which is by 21 Savage and Drake, which is also getting very popular on social media. So if you don't know it, you'll know it very, very soon. And my last song is Love's Train by Bruno Mars, Anderson. I don't know how to pronounce this. P-A-A-K.
Pac? Anderson .Paak?
I was going to say Park.
I think I know who that is.
Okay, and Silk.
But I don't know that song, any of those songs.
It's actually a cover of an older song. So if you know the older song, you'll know the new song. But any last words before we go, Floyd?
If you're in college, keep going. Don't stop. If you are wanting to go to college, keep going. Don't stop. Put you first. Those are mine.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of College Survival Guide podcast. You can find us on YouTube, Anchor, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Make sure to follow us on all social medias, and we'll see y'all next time.